I remember I had this recorded VHS. This Linkin Park, High Voltage. It was a live performance in London. And it was just a great performance. But something happened. I was working in a. It was 2002. It was in August 2002, I believe. And this guy Victor, he damaged his leg supposedly, and like this guy blamed it on me, the supervisor, and he grabbed me from the back. He threw me on the ground. I messed up like either one or both of my knees. I still feel it to this day. They're pretty bad. I was just shocked, and it was like I just felt this fear. Like that's one thing. It was like I went home and I just spent like I didn't go back to work. It was just like very. I went back and they just like hiding or something. It was weird. And then it's like for like a month I would just play over and over again sometimes, and I had a psychotic breakdown. Because I felt like it could go either way. I felt like my life was going to take it away or something. It's like these people are like, you're supposed to be a boss, this and that happens, and like they get violent on you. I mean, it's like that's an assault. I felt like anything could happen, and subsequently I think somebody got murdered like 2 years ago, a couple blocks away from there. And it's just like you people are fucking heathens and evil and fucking I mean you're fucking devilish and shit. One of the biggest Roman Catholics I saw. Kalura over there. And then, I started thinking there's a whole history with him. Like, I think his brother lived around me in Elizabeth. And like, I remember seeing him when I was like 93, 94. It's like, like, what the fuck? There was an incident that happened, in the cemetery years ago. Like, somebody damaged my car with it, and they were trying to, like, perpetuate that on me. But after that, I went home, and I remember, I just needed to cope, and I pretended like I was Chester Bennington, and like Mark Shannon. I just enjoyed watching that, and I was like pretending like, I was on stage, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, I was on the stage, and I was just, just like reciting the lyrics. I knew the song by heart. I knew every mannerism, is the way they would accent, the way they would pronounce stuff, just the right keys and all of that, and so I'm feeling this, and I started drinking a lot of coffee. And what I started doing, my mom had this coffee mate. She used to buy this coffee mate. I just started drinking this shit by itself, like sweet sugar. I just needed like a boost, like something positive, It was just, after that, I just, it's like, it was a psychotic breakdown. Later, I got depressed in the same job. I had a suicide attempt, actually, a couple months after that. It was probably because of that and a lot of other stuff, and, man, it's like it was morning. It was a morning time, and I'm watching the VHS tape, and suddenly I don't feel crazy. Like I heard somebody walk in my room, not my room, but downstairs in the living room, and I just actually before she walked in, I just felt like really like a relief, like a total relief. Like I wasn't psychotic anymore. I was like, wow, I feel really good, and people do that. It's like they get in your mind, they make you feel good, or like one of my aunts was here from Poland. Like, oh, sorry, I just woke up. Like, there was a reverse of time. I took it back. It was the same thing. Like, they get in your mind. People get in people's mind. You can wake me up. You can wake me up like that if you want, without touching me. Anyway, this girl. That was in like 2002. I think it was September, October. I thought it was Monica Pincala. I felt like it was a different chick. Like a black chick that supposedly like robbed me for like $100,000 or something. I don't even know how. Supposedly like I was in a relationship with her. I didn't know. It's like basically that's a stalker and a creeper or someone that manipulates you and tries to rob you or some shit. But I saw Monica there with blonde hair, and I was just like, eventually I told her I knew she was doing that. I knew it was something weird, and I was like, what? Thanks that you're here. Like I feel so much better, when you're around. But then I realized, oh, that's what she was doing now. Really, somebody else. But it was like, just thinking to myself, like, at a point where someone gets in your mind and manipulates you to feel better, like, could I even hold a grudge against her for that? I felt like, wow, man, like, you have that power. Why don't you just do that to a lot of people, just, make them relax, and they come out of it. And then, I don't know, we talk, and I think she talked about something like she wants to party with Puff Daddy. With Diddy, like she would really love to party with Diddy. I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I kind of heard his music. I'm really not a big fan of Puff Daddy there, I'm not a fan of P Diddy, right? So, and it was like, there was another girl I used to say, her name was Jamie. She was a stripper, so I don't know which one it was, but anyway, And then I just, I remember like, all right, well, I'm just gonna leave something like that. I don't know, I don't remember to full extent, but I was just like, I have an option. I could stay, I could go do something else right now if I'm not feeling psychotic or like, having a psychotic breakdown, or go and watch a VHS tape and watch again. But like, then it just didn't feel. I don't think it felt right. It just, I still watch the show and I enjoy it, but I just wasn't in that same psychotic mentality. So it just like it. That's what I mean, clairvoyance or a sixth sense, or people get in your mind and actually relieve you, or people can get in your mind and make you feel paranoid. Kind of do the opposite. Agitate you, not agitate you. You can be agitated like, are you standing on the line for something and, you're waiting a long time, you're agitated. That's sort of different. You shouldn't have your rights taken away because you're agitated. That's ridiculous. To feel anxious, having a psychotic breakdown and count people, that's borderline criminal right there. And it's been like October I went back to that job. It's like, I blocked it out of my mind. And people call me a retard for like, well, you have a psychotic breakdown, faggot. See how you end up. I don't think that shit's cute, but I forgot. And then, Kalura, my boss, every once in a while, he'll just go, hey, Lucas, you ever been in a fight? Like, listen, homie, like, I would love to fight you right now. I'm older, you're older. I'll fuck you up. I'll break your fucking teeth out your mouth. Except I'm not a violent person, but that's what you fucking deserve, Kalura. Including your alcoholic wife over there that falls down the stairs every couple weeks. But I never took it that route. I was never that angry. I just didn't know why the fucking guy hated me so much. Then it figured out. Kalura always used to talk about, after this world is over, the end of the world, whatever you did to me, I don't know what it did to you. That's why I told him one time, so what, you want to wake up a billion years? Why don't you tell me what you did to me right now? I'll tell you what I want to do to you. I just did. Made him look stupid every time. I ridiculed him a couple times, so I just, I made him look like an idiot that he fucking was. And that's it. I don't want to hurt the guy. He's probably old and frail right now. Actually, in 2013, I'm pretty sure he stalked me and like I started doing movie jobs and he was there. It's like, why don't you just fucking leave me alone, bro? I don't want to talk to you. That's pretty much a stalker right there. And I don't know if he's homosexual or like he wants to, I mean, I know he hates me. But it's like what if I could just go to his job and just start working and pretend like I don't know him? It'd be kind of disturbing and weird. I mean, I'll clown the fucking guy, record him, and make him look like a fucking geezer and retard he is, but I don't have time for that shit. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that girl was Jamie. I don't know. It was really Monica. But, yeah, that time, it was like a month and a half. I just started drinking a lot of coffee, and that coffee made just, I think it was regular. It was just so sweet. And actually, I would take half of it, I would put sugar in it as well if I didn't have that. It would just guzzle that shit. It helped me just, to feel, like, get a little sweet in it, like a dessert in the morning. But it was just like, it was a weird time in my life, Weird time, it was just like, it was crazy. It was really, that actually was crazy, But, yeah, every time I see that, I just see it now. I mean, I could watch it, it's fine. I don't pretend, I'm like Chester Bennington out there. I can't, hold a candle to his voice, this and that. But, it's like, yeah, I mean, I would like to write like that. It's just that, you got to find the right syntax or the right flow, the rhythm, pitch, tone, whatever. You got to make it fit, I'm more of a writer than an entertainer or like a musician, Yeah, I mean, it's freaking, 21 years later, but every time I see that, I still remember. I had a VHS tape actually recorded that and a couple other songs.